back everything I said about him speaking the truth.
All right, so
I disagree with you.
So, right on the table right now, if he doesn't break spring training with you guys, the 25 best players in the Cubs organization are not going to Chicago. I know you well enough to know there's a long-term plan and all those things, but if I'm a player and I come to you and say, hey, listen, I'm assuming you're expected to contend, try win everything you can win this year. How can you tell us that we're trying to win everything if you're not taking the best 25 guys?
I think it's very rare that teams take the 25 best players, the 25 most talented players. I mean, you remember from your years in the Boston organization that there was a spring training when Hanley Ramirez put on a show in spring training. He was probably one of our 9 best position players, but he needed more seasoning, went out to AA. Dustin Pedroia was probably one of the top guys. Jacoby Ellsbury, when he went back. On the pitching side, Buck Holtzenkamp was one of the most 25 talented guys. And at one point, John Lester was, Jonathan Papelbon was. It's just commonplace for players to complete their development. At least, the way we've done it. The way we've done it in Boston for 10 years and the way we've done it here for 3 years. The most talented players, the best players, it's not always the right time for them. They need to complete their development. There are things to learn in the minor leagues. And I'm not talking about Chris because we haven't made that decision yet. But I'm just speaking generally. There's something to be said for doing player development the proper way, seeing it through in the minor leagues. I like to call guys up for their major league debut in the middle of the season when they're in the flow of the game, the grind of the season, they're comfortable. I've never put a young prospect on an opening day roster who hadn't played in the big leagues previously. In 13 years, I've never done it. I'm not saying I'd never do it, but the general rule, the presumption is to allow those guys to go out, play, get comfortable, get in the rhythm, and then come up when we handpick just the right moment for them to have success.
But prevailing wisdom is that and I'll hypothetically say you leave here and he's not on your roster, he's in AAA, and 12 days into the season you guys call him up, and the business reasons make total sense. Everybody gets that, but that is a purely business decision. From a developmental perspective,
I just talked about I want to speak. I'm speaking in general terms. I think it's not fair to Chris. Let's just take a step. You want to ask me a question about Chris Bryant? You want me to talk about Chris Bryant? I will say that Chris Bryant is an outstanding young man. He was raised absolutely the right way by